Hi everyone, Lisa Haven here, and Thursday, June the 6th will go down in history as the date of destruction for former FBI Director James Comey. Yeah, he obliterated himself. At least that's my opinion. Now, here are just a few things that we learned from his hearing yesterday that I kind of want to touch on because I think they're important. Number one is Trump never was truly under investigation for Russian collusion.
I'm trying to understand whether there was any kind of investigation of the president underway.
No. I'm sorry, and if I misunderstood, I apologize. We briefed the congressional leadership about what Americans we had opened counterintelligence investigation cases on, and we specifically said the president is not one of those Americans.
Was the president under investigation at the time of your dismissal on May 9th?
No.
Number two, Donald Trump didn't truly obstruct justice. No, all he did was ask Comey and hoped, at least in Comey's words, hoped that he would go easy on Mike Flynn. He hoped it. However, Donald Trump denies that altogether, but he hoped he would go easy on Mike Flynn. That doesn't count as obstruction to justice. Number two.
This is the president speaking. I hope you can see your way clear to letting this go, to letting Flynn go. He is a good guy. I hope you can let this go. Now, those are his exact words. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you wrote them here and you put them in quotes?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for that. He did not direct you to let it go.
Not in his words, no.
He did not order you to let it go.
Again, those words are not an order.
No. He said, I hope. Now, like me, you probably did hundreds of cases, maybe thousands of cases, charging people with criminal offenses. And, of course, you have knowledge of the thousands of cases out there that where people have been charged. Do you know of any case where a person has been charged for obstruction of justice, or for that matter, any other criminal offense, where they said or thought they hoped for an outcome?
I don't know well enough to answer. And the reason I keep saying his words is I took it as a direction.
Right.
I mean, this is the President of the United States, with me alone, saying, I hope this. I took it as this is what he wants me to do. Now, I didn't obey that, but that's the way I took it.
You may have taken it as a direction, but that's not what he said.
Correct. That's why
he said, I hope.
Those are exact words,
okay.
Correct.
You don't know of anyone that's ever been charged for hoping something. Is that a fair statement?
I don't, as I sit here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Number three, we discovered that Comey is scared of Loretta Lynch. Yeah, so much so that he didn't go forward with covering the Clinton investigation and just kind of pushed it under a rug.
And were you aware that Ms. Lynch had been requested numerous times to appoint a special counsel and had refused?
Yes, I think members of Congress had repeatedly asked. Yes, sir.
Yours truly did on multiple occasions. And that heightened your concerns about the appearance of a conflict of interest with the Department of Justice, which caused you to make what you have described as an incredibly painful decision to basically take the matter up yourself, and led to that July press conference.
Yes, sir. After the former President Clinton, met on the plane with the Attorney General, I considered whether I should call for the appointment of a special counsel, and I decided that that would be an unfair thing to do because I knew there was no case there. We had investigated it very, very thoroughly. I know this is a subject of passionate disagreement, but I knew there was no case there, and calling for the appointment of special counsel would be brutally unfair because it would send the message, aha, there's something here. That was my judgment. Again, lots of people have different views of it, but that's how I thought about it.
Well, if a special counsel had been appointed, they could have made that determination that there was nothing there and declined to pursue it, right?
Sure, but it would have been many months later or a year later. Right.
Not my words. And number four, very important fact here, Comey leaked his own memo. That means he broke the law. He leaked documents there to the media.
And finally, did you show copies of your memos to anyone outside of the Department of Justice?
Yes.
And to whom did you show copies?
I asked, President tweeted on Friday after I got fired that I better hope there's not tapes. I woke up in the middle of the night on Monday night because it didn't dawn on me originally, that there might be corroboration for our conversation. There might be a tape. And my judgment was I needed to get that out into the public square. And so I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter.
Well, Comey, you really did yourself over in that one. So in other words, we learned that Donald Trump is innocent. We learned that he has no ties to Russia. We also learned that you're a leaker and you leaked your own memo to, well, the media. Oh, and let's not forget you committed perjury because not that long ago you stated that, well, nobody has pressured you to influence any part or influence anything, any part of Russia or the election. And then all of a sudden you have this memo that wasn't even legally written up appropriately. It was just your own personal memo written at your own comfort, right? That just so happened to come out when you got fired. Yeah, coincidence? Oh, and now you're saying, there was some influencing on, what's going on with Mike Flynn and Russia. Is that a contradictory statement or did you just commit perjury? I think it's perjury. Now, a few other things, maybe not one, but a few other things I want to take away from this is it seems everyone under the sun, even Communist News Network, was confused by Senator John McCain's statements.
At least in the mindset of this member, there's a whole lot of questions remaining about what went on, particularly considering the fact that, as you mentioned, it's a quote, big deal as to what went on during the campaign. So, I'm glad you concluded that part of the investigation, but I think that the American people have a whole lot of questions out there, particularly since you just emphasized the role that Russia played. And obviously, she was a candidate for president at the time, so she was clearly involved in this whole situation where fake news, as you just described it, big deal, took place. You're going to have to help me out here. In other words, we're complete the investigation of anything that former Secretary Clinton had to do with the campaign's over and we don't have to worry about it anymore.
We all knew John McCain was a bit loopy. I think he's off his meds. I don't know, just my take. Now, Donald Trump also himself said he felt vindicated and took to Twitter page to state the following, and I quote, "Despite so many false statements and lies, total and complete vindication, ... and wow, Comey's a leaker." Amen to that, Donald Trump. I second everything you said. Comey's a leaker and you're completely vindicated. I agree wholeheartedly. Here's the thing. Let me just put it bluntly. The Democratic Party, or more of the progressive left, are out to dethrone Donald Trump. They're taking things out of proportion. Yesterday, during the hearing, you heard all these congressmen and women, and not all of them, but some of them, attempt to twist the story to make it look like Donald Trump is in a bad light. They asked directed questions to make it look like there's some kind of Russian intrusion into our election. But even Comey himself stated that the Russians did not, as far as he was aware, mess with any of the votes.
Are you confident that no votes cast in the 2016 presidential election were altered?
I'm confident. By the time when I left as director, I'd seen no indication of that whatsoever.
So, none of the votes were tampered with. So really the only kind of intrusion, I guess, is propaganda. But how about China? How about other countries that interfere in elections? Why don't we bring all of them to the table? Why focus on one? Well, because there's an ultimate agenda. Yesterday, I put out a report with Lee Stranahan, the former lead reporter for Breitbart, and he specifically got into that very topic where he divulges information about the real agenda behind it and how they've always painted Russia as the bad guy, and George Soros does a lot of the funding for this. He funds these coups against the government, has a bad guy, blames Russia, which is exactly what we're seeing. And in the end, the government is overthrown. This is something that is part of their agenda and we need to be aware of on a daily basis. With that, I just want to say, please make sure you are prepped and ready to go with gold, silver, precious metal, these kinds of things. Because if George Soros actually does come through with fruition, well, you're going to want to have something tangible. I personally have gold, silver, precious metals, these kinds of things, because I believe in their value. And if something happens with the stock market, or if something goes haywire, like it's been in Ukraine. We know that George Soros has caused a lot of the problems in Ukraine, caused a lot of the problems there. Now Venezuela is at that place. Well, gold and silver is always something that maintains its value, at least a lot better than the tangible dollar ever will. So please go to noblegoldinvestments.com. I'll leave a link below for that. But all that said, please understand the games the Democratic, progressive, far left party is attempting to do. They don't want Donald Trump in. And let's be frank, James Comey has met with other personnel in the past, high up. I believe he's met with Obama and everyone else. And trust me, there's all kinds of secret dealings between political personnel and presidents and all of this. It's a common thing. So just because Donald Trump met with James Comey is nothing that is beside any other president in the history of America. It's what happens. It's what they do. But if they want to hold something against you, they'll pick pins and needles. They'll pick one little thing and blow it out of the water, because that is what these people do. And that's what they're attempting to do, Donald Trump. They're pulling at straws here, and they're attempting to get him out of office any which way the wind blows. And we must not allow that. We must continue to expose it. And for you people out there, start a YouTube channel, start making videos, get the real information out, show Comey what he's actually saying. So when all these mainstream medias want to make crap up, they know that they're just fake news. Anyhow, if you like what you heard today, please hit that subscribe button, share it on all your social media outlets, and give me a big fat thumbs up. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning into my channel. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.